Now, music, of course, is a great art, and it's older than cricket. But the earliest cricket was village cricket, and many villagers and many great village cricketers were also musicians. So it's no accident that the two are blended so extremely well together. And in this record, I think you'll find a pleasant mixture of both cricket and music. Now, the Yetties come from Yetminster in Dorset, and most of those Dorset cricketers who essayed to county heights have played for either Somerset or Hampshire, and I think you'll find a fair amount of bias in those two directions. But essentially, the interest is in village cricket. Therefore, their first number is Cricket on the Village Green.
What's the best game that I've seen? Cricket on the village green. Slow or crafty, fast or keen. Cricket on the village green. Once we've cleared away the stocks and picked up all the sticks and rocks, the lads come out and try some knocks. Cricket on the village green. What's the game that makes me smile? Cricket in the village style. Entertainment all the while. Cricket in the village style. Every time the vicar bats, the willow whistles round our hats as if he's swatting flies or gnats. Cricket in the village style. What's the game I play with pride? Cricket with a village side. I bowl them fast and bowl them wide. Cricket with a village side. When I bats I slogs them good, over into Dingleswood or down to where the long leg stood. Cricket with a village side. When I can no longer play cricket in the village way, I'll support each Saturday cricket in the village way. I'll come along and cheer and shout and mope when our sides tumbled out and tell kids what it's all about. Cricket in the village way.
The first great recorded cricket club was a village club. It was Hambledon. And the players, although they were the best in the country and capable of beating all England, were really villagers. They were farmers, potters, smallholders, carpenters, builders. They were really village people. And perhaps almost the greatest personality of them all was John Small and Nyren, who recorded the doings of the Hambledon Club and lifted its players into a mythology of the game. Wrote, "Upon coming to the old batters of our club, the name of John Small the elder shines among them in all the lustre of a star of the first magnitude." It was the best short runner of his day, and indeed I believe him to have been the first who turned the short hits to account. His decision was as prompt as his eye was accurate in calculating a short run. Add to the value of this accomplishment as a batter, he was an admirable fieldsman, always playing middle wicket, and so correct was his judgment of the game that old Nyren would appeal to him when a point of law was being debated. Small was a remarkably well-made and well-knit man, of honest expression and as active as a hare. He was a good fiddler and taught himself the double bass. Duke of Dorset, having been informed of his musical talent, sent him as a present a handsome violin and paid the carriage. Small, like a true and simple-hearted Englishman, returned the compliment by sending his Grace 2 bats and balls, also paying the carriage. We may be sure that on both hands the presents were choice of their kind. Upon one occasion he turned his Orphean accomplishment to good account. Having to cross 2 or 3 fields on his way to a musical party, a vicious bull made at him, when our hero, with the characteristic coolness and presence of mind of a good cricketer, began playing upon his bass to the admiration and perfect satisfaction of the mischievous beast.
Here lives John Small, makes bat and ball, pitch a wicket, play at cricket with any man in England. The game they played by Hambledon above the little town, the game they played, the game they made, the game they handed down. Grew up from simple village sport, the game of bat and ball. Now blossom forth on England's turf is the finest sport of all. The man who firstly found it out and understood its call was christened John. His fame was great, although his name was small. Here lives John Small, makes bat and ball, pitch a wicket, play at cricket with any man in England. He was a country cobbler, lived by needle, last and all, and with his skillful hands he made a leather cricket ball. He stitched it round and polished it till it was gleaming red, and when he had it finished 'twas the very best, they said. Its shape was right, its weight was right, its fight was always true. But that was not the only thing that countryman could do. Here lives John Small, makes bat and ball, pitch a wicket, play at cricket with any man in England. The curving bat of former times he felt could not be right for one who wished to build the game by playing close and tight. He took his tools, his adze, his plane, a block of willow wood, and carved a shorter, straighter bat and made his purpose good. Defending straight, attacking straight, and playing down the line, deserving it and earning it, the first great cricket sign. Here lives John Small, makes bat and ball, pitch a wicket, play at cricket with any man in England. At Hambledon of old they laid the cricket gospel down, on Windmill down, that mighty hill above the little town. There Harris preached a perfect length along a steady line, when mashed by batting straight as small, the style of play grew fine. Till John the elder, great in fame, although his name was small, became the first true master hand, the king of bat and ball. Here lives John Small, makes bat and ball, pitch a wicket, play at cricket with any man in England. Here lives John Small, makes bat and ball, pitch a wicket, play at cricket with any man in England.
The doings of the Hambledon Club were recorded, indeed they were immortalised, in the section of his book The Young Cricketer's Tutor called The Cricketers of My Time by John Nyren, and here is a characteristic passage. There was high feasting held on broad halfpenny during the solemnity of one of our grand matches. Oh, it was a heart-stirring sight to witness the multitude forming a complete and dense circle round that noble green. Half the county would be present and all their hearts with us. Little Hambledon pitted against all England was a proud thought for the Hampshire men. Defeat was glory in such a struggle. Victory indeed made us only a little lower than angels. How those fine, brawn-faced fellows of farmers would drink to our success. The ale, too, not the modern horror under the same name that drives as many men melancholy mad as the hypocrites do. Not the beastliness of these days that will make a fellow's inside like a shaking bog and as rotten, but barleycorn, such as would put the souls of 3 butchers into one weaver. Ale that would flare like turpentine, genuine Boniface. This immortal viand, for it was more than liquor, was vended at 2d per pint. Then the quantity the fellows would eat, 2 or 3 of them would strike dismay into a round of beef. How strongly are all those scenes of 50 years bygone painted in my memory, and the smell of that ale comes upon me as freshly as the new Mayflowers. That book, that story, has captured imaginations everywhere, Now, Francis Brett Young, the novelist, was a Midlander, but he wrote a poem about Hambledon called On Windmill Downs, 1789, in the Hampshire dialect that celebrates them quite magnificently. Then there was Botham, William Botham. Silver Billy, us always called him, for his hair was so white as a wheat field come October. Harry Hall, the gingerbread maker, learnt in the game. Hall were no great player himself, but he made young Botham keep his left elbow up and hold his bat plumb straight in the line of the ball when he swung. 'Twere a gallant sight to see Silver Billy smack 'em all over the field and never lift one. That laddie danced on his toes like Jack Broughton the boxer, and ran he could lance like a deer to pick up the ball full pelt so neat as a swallow nips gnats in the air. You'd ought to have seen him cut off the point of the bat with a crack like a pistol shot. The ball shaving daisies all the way to the boundary, and shepherds are leaping like lambs of an April evening to save their old shins. Not one of 'em could have stopped it, howsomever he tried. But I allow the best of all was when him and Lord Frederick Beauclerk was in together. Lord Frederick had royal blood in him, so 'twas said. For his grammar were Nelly Gwynn, King Charles's fancy. But when Billy and him walked out to the pitch side by side, you couldn't tell which were the farmer and which the gentleman. The pair on 'em looked that majestic, and when they got set, you'd have thought they was brothers born, the way they gloried in blasting the ball in between 'em. There wasn't a ball long or short, high or low, but Lord Frederick went into it wrist and shoulder, but Billy the same. They looked something grander than human mortals, them two. So light on their feet as hobbyhawks skimming a hedge or peewits a running afore they do light on the down. I can see 'em now. Billy Bowdham's silvery head and his lordship's white hat, thridding to and fro like shuttles, the crowd on their feet hollering out, "Go hard, go hard! Titch and turn, try another one more!" And the fielders running like hares on every side of the wicket. Aye, that was music. Afore now I've a seed Silver Billy knocked 10 runs off one snick pass slip and an overthrow. Them was the days. All cricket, of course, is a matter of character. Village cricket probably more than any other form of the game because there may not be so much skill to compensate. And there's no more relishable character than the man who's prepared to bat at need till the clock strikes 7 and never worry about the notches. The man who comes in with no ability to dominate, but to save a match. And here's one of them, Stonewall Jack.
I am a blocking batsman, me I blocks and never has a crack. Now John Stonewall is me name, but people calls me Stonewall Jack. Now I am not a pretty bat, but certain as the ace of trumps, the one thing I make sure to see is no damn bowler gets me out. I blocks and never has a crack, and people calls me Stonewall Jack. I makes it sure I shan't be bowled by pushing down the line quite straight. No light between me bat and pad, they can't get through, there ain't no gate. I hates them bowlers, so I do. I hates the horrid ruddy ball. I won't lift up, I won't reach out, I swear I shan't be bowled at all. I blocks and never has a crack, and people calls me Stonewall Jack. I covers up with both me pads, I always have, I always will. Why ain't I LBW? The umpire is me Uncle Bill. I swears they shall not catch I out. I will not lift a single stroke. I will not drive or hug or pull, but nudge and push and dab and poke. I blocks and never has a crack, and people calls me Stonewall Jack. I knows I never shall be stumped, no bowler makes I leave me crease. No flight, nor spin, nor pace, nor guile can e'er disturb me bat in peace. I never would obstruct the field, nor hit ball twice if once would do, nor handle ball we bat in hand, and who can hit me wicket? Who? I blocks and never has a crack, and people calls me Stonewall Jack.
Now the batsman has not yet been born, can run I out while I am me. If his first shout ain't same as mine, then he's run out, I'll guarantee. I don't retire and don't give up, you may be certain sure of that. The only way to end my day is when I've carried out me bat. I blocks and never has a crack, and people calls me Stonewall Jack. Now always hate the bowling man, don't ask the benefit of doubt, and never let the bowler win, no, never let him get you out. I blocks and never has a crack, and people calls me Stonewall Jack. I blocks and never has a crack, and people calls me Stonewall Jack.
He sits alone to watch the men at cricket on the village green, and savours calmly once again the life-remembered quiet scene that to his ageing sight grows dim. But then he sees with clearer eye that these men's fathers play with him, their fathers' fathers standing by. He leaps once more with eager spring to catch the brief glimpsed flying ball, and quickens to its sudden sting. The brightness dies. The old eyes fall. They see, but do not understand. A pursed, rheumatic, useless hand. Of course, every village cricketer is a great player. He knows it. Other people may not appreciate it, but he knows it. Now, Dick Miles was the steadiest bowler Sherburne St. John ever had. My word, we were in trouble at harvest time when Dick couldn't play. No village side in the district could ever collar him. And after you'd hurled the thing about and taken 3 wickets in 3 overs, and you were preening yourself with pride, Dick would come up and say, "You'd get far more wickets and they wouldn't cost too much if you'd keep it there or thereabouts." And that's what he always did.
At bowling now, I likes to go at getting their batters out. I'm not too fast and I'm not too slow, and I keeps it there or thereabout. I keeps it there or thereabout. I hates batters heartily, and I don't give they beggars now. They never gets a run from me if I keeps it there or thereabout. I keeps it there or thereabout. I likes to fret and worry I likes to plant a seed of doubt and move it just a little way. Well, I keeps it there or thereabout. I keeps it there or thereabout. Our umpire, he's a mate of mine. I hits a pad and has a shout. For leg of 4, that's out you'll find, 'cause I keeps it there or thereabout. I keeps it there or thereabout. We had one stripy-hatted gent jumped out and give I quite a clout, but he soon had a accident, 'cause I keeps it there or thereabout. I keeps it there or thereabout. The young'uns say me arm's too low, that's not what bowling's all about. It's not too fast and not too slow, and keeping it there or thereabout. I keeps it there or thereabout.
The modern bowler, of course, is quite a different matter. Like the man in the Psalms, he toils not, neither does he spin, because he is just a lily of the field. And we can, I think, talk about flower power in cricket, or sing about it.
Not young, but I'm strong, and I hurl it along, and no one stays long against me. No, no one stays long against me. I bounce and I bounce and I give the last ounce, and no one stays long at the crease. No, no one stays long at the crease. I bump and I thump and I make the men jump, and no one likes batting for long. No, no one likes batting for long. With beamers and steamers and horrible screamers, very few make runs out of me. Very few make runs out of me. I hammer and clamor and bowl like a slammer, and no one gets much out of me. No, no one gets much out of me. I scout and I clout and I bowl the men out, and no one lasts long against me. No, no one lasts long against me. I belt and I welt, opponents all melt, and no one likes playing with me. Nah, no one likes playing with me. I booze and I bruise, and people don't choose to play very much against me. They play very much against me. I curse and far worse, and the grudge that I nurse gets everyone else against me. Gets everyone else against me. I flower with power, but not flower power. I'm the nastiest man in the game. I'm the nastiest man in the game. I hate and I grate at a horrible rate. I'm the nastiest chap in the game. I'm the nastiest chap in the game.
You've heard of W.G. Grace, of course you have. He was a village cricketer at Down End. But in 1880, when England played Australia at the Oval, the first test match ever played in this country, three of them, W.G., his elder brother E.M. and his younger brother Fred, all played for England against Australia. Now, Fred, they relate, and perhaps this was the most exciting moment of the entire match, got under a stroke by Bonner that went so high they ran 2.5 before he caught it at point. That must have gone up a very long way. He did catch that, but he got a couple of ducks, and it wasn't his lucky week. He went back, stayed in Basingstoke on the way home, slept in a damp bed and died. But he did hold that catch, that toppling high, steepling catch, that's really the subject of this song, the awful feeling that you get when the ball stays up there so long that you can hear people all the way around saying he's going to drop it, he's going to drop it. Fred Grace didn't.
The stranger hit that mighty skyer, for height there was no matching it. Up it went and higher, who was the man for catching it? The captain watched it climbing high, and wondered who to send for it. The bowler cocked a baleful eye, and those at the other end for it. Too high in the sky, oh not high, not high. No one wanted that risky prize. To call on Longstop would be wrong. Once he sighted it in his eyes, our Longstop he did not stop long. We thought the wicket keeper should. He had the gloves that made a fuss. Was not his job, he said, but would lend his gloves to one of us. Too high in the sky, oh not high, not high. Meanwhile the batsmen ran and ran, 24 had gone on the board. The captain found no catching man, and still that red ball soared and soared. Where was the man who struck the blow? His back lay there, scorched by flame. No one knew him, there saw him go. The scorebook did not name his name. Too high in the sky, oh not high, not high. No one wanted that awful catch, climbing from that stranger stroke, who in a moment won the match and vanished in a puff of smoke. It climbed right out of sight, never even began to fall. They waited all that day and night, but devil a sight saw off that ball. Too high in the sky, oh not high, not high. The umpire feared to shout lost ball, but when his final judgment came, he gave us his impartial call. This cricket is a hell of a game. Too high in the sky, oh not high, not high. Too high in the sky, oh not high, not high.
This is a tribute to John Berry Hobbs on his 70th birthday, 16th of December 1952. There falls across this one December day the light remembered from those suns of June that you reflected in the summer play of perfect strokes across the afternoon. No yeoman ever walked his household land more sure of step or more secure of lease than you, accustomed and unhurried, trod your great yet little manner of the crease. The game the weird and rustics handed down, through growing skill, became in you a part of sense, and ripened to a style that showed their country's sport matured to balanced art. There was a wisdom so informed your back to understanding of the bowler's trade, that each resource of strength or skill he used seemed but the context of the stroke you played. The master. Records prove the title good, yet figures fail you, for they cannot say how many men whose names you never knew are proud to tell their sons they saw you play. They share the sunlight of your summer day of 30 years, and they with you recall how through those well-wrought centuries your hand reshaped the history of bat and ball. Jack Hobbs had a great taste for spin bowling. He didn't always defeat it. In fact, twice in test matches he was bowled out by full tosses from Arthur Mayley. And one great fact about those two occasions, impossible to imagine it happening today, both batsman and bowler burst out laughing. It was the leg spinner's dipper. Now, he relished spin bowlers because spin bowlers really are the philosophers as well as the artful dodgers of the game. Cunning, earthy, wise, they don't tear their insides out, rushing up and hurling the ball down. They just give it a little bit, just enough, just as much as it needs to get the batsman out with just a little flick of the spinning finger. And that's what this song's about.
The finest village bowler I be, though some says I'm a slinger. I bowls with brains and accuracy, and a tickle of me spinning finger. A tickle of me spinning finger. I gets 'em out, though I bain't bright, nor fast nor much of a swinger. With a steady length, a bit of flight, and a tickle of me spinning finger. A tickle of me spinning finger. I gets all pea from me fast the ball, gets head and flies a stinger. The second slip, and he lets it fall, with a tickle of me spinning finger. A tickle of me spinning finger. I catch his batsman on the hop with a quick bounce of me springer, which leap with just a bit of top, and a tickle of me spinning finger. A tickle of me spinning finger. I love Sir Umpire's daughter Anne. If she'll marry me, I'll bring her all the money and love I can. And a tickle of me spinning finger. A tickle of me spinning finger.
Great philosophers, bowlers, cheerful characters. Who's laughing? They can be the most miserable, spiteful and resentful characters in the world, but these weren't. They're called Four Jolly Bowlers.
It's up for jolly bowlers, for bowlers you shall hear, and we have been a-bowling for many a long year. We travel all the counties of England and around, and all of our delight is to find good bowling ground. One of us is very fast, one more bowls by strength, but the other two, they use their brains and bowl with spin and length. Our true delight is bowling, bowling without a doubt, but our almighty treasure is to bowl them batsmen out. The batsmen's pleasure, boys, is a making of their runs. The bowlers hate them having them, even maiden ones. We'll bowl and bowl at them in village and in town, and most of all our treasure is to bowl their castles down. Sometimes we have money, boys, sometimes none at all, but we can have good credit, boys, for we do bowl the ball. We'll call for beer most merrily and drink the health all round. Here's the health of the batsman's wicket we knocks out off the ground. Then on the village green, me boys, we bowl the days away. Fast or slow or swerve or spin and work that's truly play. Oh, haven't you been a bowler? That's the man to be. For of all the trades in England, it's the bowler's life for me.
the saddest of all cricketers, made the most exciting entry into the game that you can possibly conceive. Anybody who was alive then will remember that great debut of Harold Gimblett, when he took the cricket world by the ears with that hurricane century, and not against easy bowling either. Essex on a very strong side they were. But after that century he only averaged 17 for the season. He had his worries and his troubles and his tribulations, and he never really made the England Test team. My word, when he was picked to play against the West Indies after he'd really punished Valentine and Ramadin, he got a carbuncle and couldn't play. He wasn't the luckiest of all men, Harold, but he could for the rest of his life after that one innings celebrate it, and the rest of the world celebrated it with him. And I think every Somerset follower remembers that day with triumph, and Harold Gimblett with great sympathy.
Bicknoller was his village, Harold Gimblett was his name. Farming was his work all day, but cricket was his game. When he was but 20 and first played for Somerset, he struck the mighty innings that we remember yet. Oh, he struck them with skill and he struck them with power. Times out of number he gave them Stonewall, and he knocked up a century in just on the hour. Stonewall is the village where old Jack White used to live, but for cricketers in Somerset, that's the name they give to the fierce cross-batted stroke they will use for rimmer more, swinging it right off the stumps and past long leg for four. Young Gimblett went to Taunton to have a county trial. John Daniel broke the news to him, they did not like his style. Then, when a man cried off, he was pulled back to the room. You'll play for us tomorrow against Essex down at Broome. Oh, he struck them with skill and he struck them with power. Times out of number he gave them Stonewall, and he knocked up the century in just on the hour. On May the 18th, 35, at 6 he left the farm, on his way to catch the bus, with a cricket bag under his arm. Soon to drink Pavilion tea, feeling a little grim, with cricketers who up till then had been but names to him. Somerset had engulfed the Lee brothers Frank and Jack, the famous farmer White and Arthur Wellard in attack. For Essex, Pierce O'Connor, Peter Smith and Ray, Eastman, Wade and Cutmore, they all were there that day. Oh, he struck them with skill and he struck them with power. Times out of number he gave them Stonewall, and he knocked up the century in just on the hour. Nichols of England, he was there, the mighty Morris Nick. His arms were long, his shoulders wide, his pace was fearful quick. When Somerset went into bat, his slips held all the sticks. The score when Gimlett's turn came round was 107 for 6. The crowd had never heard of him, they did not know his name, but since he was for Somerset, they clapped him just the same. They saw him miss the spin of Smith, but very quickly then, for a single pushed off Nichols, clapped him once again. Oh, he struck them with skill and he struck them with power. Times out of number he gave them Stonewall, and he knocked up a century in just on the hour. In with Arthur Wellard, biggest hitter of them all. Young Gimblett soon outscored him, he was middling the ball. When Smith tossed up his googly, that ball of mystery, he landed it Stonewall on top of the old marquee. Wellard went and Lucky's came, and Gimblett reached his 50. Lucky's out, and Andrews then played it cool and thrifty. Nichols took the bright new ball, and Gimblett drove him straight. When he dropped it short, he hooked him, and cut him neat and late. Oh, he struck them with skill, and he struck them with power. Times out of number he gave them Stonewall, and he knocked up the century in just on the hour. The chilly crowd had watched him while he had changed the game, and now they felt they knew him and shouted out his name. For one fine savage over, Nichols checked the score, but then the young man cracked him through the young pavilion door. A difficult situation befell at Broome just then, because the tins there only marked the score of 10 by 10. Attention in the dressing room, the team could give no sign. There was no way of telling him his score was 99.
Oh, he struck them with skill and he struck them with power. 9 out of number he gave them Stogumber, and he knocked up a century in just on the hour. But when Nichols bowled, Gimblett drove him straight before. He'd done it, scored a century, the crowd let out a roar. To this day you may read it, it's in the record book. An hour and just 3 minutes is all the time it took. That night all through Somerset, from mine across the street, Bristol down to Wellington, they talked of this great feat. And thousands ever since have claimed that they were there to see Harold Gimblett from McNullar make cricket history. Oh, he struck them with skill and he struck them with power. 9 out of number he gave them Stogumber, and he knocked up a century in just on the hour.
Dear Harold Gimblett, splendid, Homeric, tragic figure, but not alone in producing the historic and exciting innings. He and Botham, of course, has done it, and as no other man has ever done in the history of the game. Taken up, changed, remoulded and won a test series off his own bat, and not only his own bat either, his own bowling hand. Now, just a few years ago, the secretary of the Somerset Club asked Bonnie Sartin, the mischief mind of the Yetties, to do a song about Somerset County Cricket Club, and with his usual efficiency, he obliged.
Get your coat, get your hat, polish up your old hat, come and cheer for the team that is picked from the green. Somerset, Somerset, we'll beat them all, you bet. Let's have a cheer for Somerset.
Bionic Beefy leads the side like a lion with its pride. With the bat and the ball, there's no beating him at all. When Big Bird fires his guns, opponents make no runs. With the bat, it is king, come and sing.
Get your coat, get your hat, polish up your old hat, come and cheer for the team that is picked from the green. Somerset, Somerset, we'll beat them all, you bet. Let's have a cheer for Somerset.
Martin Crowe will be sure to play his strokes and score. Gardy lives up to his name, broke fucking third a game. There are no finer blokes than Dredgy, Vick and Slopes, Popplewell and Dasher Denning, come and sing.
Get your coat, get your hat, polish up your old hat, come and cheer for the team that is picked from the green. Somerset, Somerset, we'll beat them all, you bet. Let's have a cheer for Somerset. Get your coat, get your hat, polish up your old hat, come and cheer for the team that is picked from the green. Somerset, Somerset, we'll beat them all, you bet. Let's have a cheer for Somerset. We're on the march with Beefy's army. We're going to win the Jumblerlee. And we'll really shake them up when we win the Napper Cup, 'cause Somerset are the greatest cricket team. We're on the march with Beefy's army. We're going to win the Jumblerlee. And we'll really shake them up when we win the Napper Cup, 'cause Somerset are the greatest cricket team.
It's the funniest, the oddest, the most difficult, the most profound, the happiest and the most rewarding of all games. And I hope you've enjoyed it being set to music, and that you enjoy cricket as much as we do.